first episode of Cocktails with Dr. Carper. This is a new format we're going to try out with Dr. C, who I think all of you know. I'm his daughter, Lindy, KB9PIE, and the Director of Operations for Ham Radio Deluxe. We're thinking we're going to start doing some sit-downs like this, where we field some questions and, go over some topics that we're seeing out in the forums, etc., etc. Today, we're going to start with a beer. You want to introduce this for us, Dad?
Yep. This is, so most of you probably know that we're living in Australia now, not far from the Gold Coast, which is south of Brisbane. It's about an 8-hour drive north of Sydney. And we've kind of taken with this brewery nearby called Black Hops. Their logo, or their saying is, 3 mates on the Gold Coast making beer, or whatever it's made by 3 mates on the Gold Coast. There you go. So we like a lot of their beer. So ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, go. All right. So I have basically an Oktoberfest style beer. Even though, as you can see behind us, it's summertime. Basically, or going into summertime. There's not much of a spring here.
Yeah. You poured better than I did. All
Cheers.
right, cheers. I got the IPA.
You
I
did?
like it. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
You know
Perfect.
you like the Oktoberfest.
I do.
Right.
It's a more of a Hefeweizen kind of Oktoberfest. It's perfectly good. They've got a lot of great beer. My favorite is the what is it? The stout that they have. That's
It's light. I don't remember what it's called, but it's a good one.
Anyway.
Well, let's get at it. I think to open today, since we haven't had the chance to field any direct questions, is just to start with the most popular questions, or the ones you're seeing the most of late. Mm-hmm. What would you say we're seeing most often?
Well, I get people, first of all, thanks to all the folks that are our customers. Thank you very much for being our customers, and thanks for coming along with the ride. We're actually, over the course of the last few years, really increasing the number of operators we have using Ham Radio Deluxe, and we're grateful for that. I've gotten a lot of great feedback lately with the work that we've been doing. So for what I'm about to say, because Lindy's asking me what are the problems that we're seeing, I want to say that 80 to 90% of the feedback I get is extremely positive.
Oh yeah.
For sure. So, but there are a few people, that have said, hey, I'm seeing this feedback on one of the, social media forums, and saying that you guys have all these problems, and so I'm I don't want to, keep buying your software maintenance and support, or I don't know if I want to install your updates. So, but even my, even our, toughest critics have sent me emails saying, this is the best work you've ever done, so keep it up. But one of the things I guess it's worth noting is that the biggest problem we have is Microsoft Access, and it's gone back quite a few years, right? So because we've had different versions along the way, and this all started way before, Windows XP probably, or Windows XP was popular. And when a database was created back then, it was created using a different version of Access. And as Microsoft has made Excel and Word backward compatible, they never made Access backward compatible. So, you really have a driver-specific version of Access, which has been tough. So, there have been a few people who are using Windows 7, or using older versions of Access, like associated with Office 2010. Mm-hmm. And so it's tough if you're using Office 2010 to continue using an Access-based application. So what we're doing right now with that is we have, and we'll talk about the development approach here in a little bit probably, but we have some developers dedicated to eliminating Microsoft Access. And that'll be great because once we, first of all, it'll eliminate all the problems that we're having with Access, plus it'll make the application faster. It'll enable us to put it on different platforms like Lindy's Mac and so on.
I had it out of frame so you wouldn't say anything.
So, we're kind of stuck on Windows for so long as we're using Access, and that's one of the things. So we're moving to SQLite, which is a pretty popular, it's called an embedded database. The developers have already shown me the work that they're doing, and it's probably, I want to say, 75% complete. I expect it'll be done and out before the holidays. We'll send it through the beta testing with the group of beta testers we've got and give it a good once over.
Yeah.
Yep. But that's basically the main problem that we're facing right now, really.
Mm-hmm. That is really reflective of the feedback I've been seeing as well, as far as tickets are concerned, asking, what's going on, what's the plan. And, we've talked about this. There are lots of us who get a little stuck in our ways, kind of like my reluctance to give up my Mac computer. But for those who do want to use Windows 7 or, are a little reluctant to download a later version just in general, what do you say to them? That we're not leaving them behind. They can, catch up, keep up, we'll help them through the process. Mm-hmm. Or if they want to stay where they are a while longer, that's an option, right? For now, anyway.
It is for now. And so Microsoft abandoned support for Windows 7 a year or two ago. I don't have the date in my head. So they don't make security updates for it. They don't make patches up for it. So all the tools that we use to build Ham Radio Deluxe are Microsoft-based tools like Visual Studio. And all the libraries, the third-party libraries we use are all, C++ Visual Studio. So as we create the application, we have to stay current with Microsoft's tool set. And in fact, a lot, some of the feedback that I get would say, well, gosh, you guys haven't changed anything. We've changed a whole lot, but if you just look at it, it doesn't look a lot different, and that's intentional. We didn't want to change the look of it. I always called it lipstick on a pig. I don't want to make it look better, but not, make more things happen, add more features. So I'm more about adding features than I am changing the look, but people do want a more modern look, and so I've already mocked up some of that stuff. Maybe we can add it to this video or something.
Oh,
Maybe show it.
Definitely, I can pop that right in here.
But we had to upgrade Visual Studio, Code Jock libraries, Boost, a whole bunch of this stuff. And when we did that, we didn't compile an installer for Windows 7, so the initial version of 6.8 wouldn't install on Windows 7. So we went pretty quickly and went back and sent the developers to figure out how to make it run on Windows 7. So the end of that story is we'll support Windows 7 for so long as it's technically feasible to support Windows 7, and then at some point where if we can't, if there are problems with it, we just can't solve them, and that's kind of where that ends.
Well, and I think that's a great example when you talk about 6.8, how our developers jumped right in as soon as we heard back saying this wasn't compatible with Windows 7. We had the changes done same day, and a new release came out.
Yep.
And I've seen that a lot. I've been with the company full-time for 3 years now, and the pace has changed dramatically in that amount of time, and especially within the last few months. What I'm seeing is that we're really moving and shaking. It used to be that the development process was kind of a grind to make the progress that we wanted, but now we're just ticking things right off the list, and I'm hoping you can speak to that and the new team that we have on board and how great that's been going.
So depending on how you want to count it, we've got 7 developers working in the project. We've got 4 developers working full-time. We get 40 hours a week out of them, and because we now have, this is the first time ever we've had full-time developers involved in the project. So we've changed the release cadence quite a bit. We're going with a cadence that's referred to in the software industry as continual software development. What that means is that if there's something that we have built or tested and it's ready to go, then we release it. Yeah. If it's been tested by the beta testers, if we've accomplished what we wanted to accomplish with it, then we release it. And so sometimes we release more than once a week.
Without a lot of fanfare. We just pop them up on the website.
Right.
Latest version tends to be there, and
Yep.
if there's something significant, then you announce it in the newsletter.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Like we're going to do with this video, because
Yeah.
I'll send out a newsletter with this video, and folks will know that the 6.8.0.338 release is available for download. And I think it's the best work that we've ever done. But one of the things we're trying to do to get to the point is, there have been cases in the past where we've fixed something that someone wanted fixed, but there's so much other content in the release that the release is going to take a few months or several months, 4 months. Meanwhile, this thing that's already done is waiting for the
Right.
whole release to go, and we just don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
When something's been fixed, we release release it with a fix. When something's been added, we release it, and whenever the stuff can go through the testing process, then it's good to go.
Yeah, that's great. And so with all of this exciting stuff in the pipeline and the new cadence, I love the word that you used for that we have, how are you dividing up your priorities between bug fixes and some of the older stuff that we've been hoping to take off the list, as opposed to new feature additions to the software?
Yeah, so some folks would say, we get feedback from both sides of this, which is some folks would say, hey, it works perfectly fine for me as it is. Why don't you add some more stuff? I'm not having problems right now. So add some more stuff, make it look different, give us some more features. On the other side, people are saying, I don't understand why you're working on these new features when you haven't fixed this thing, that's affecting them, which is important. And so the answer is that we're doing both. I mean, it's not like we have just one developer and we have to say, you can either do this or you can do that. We've got enough developers in this where we can say 80% of our time will be on fixing things that are we call it a backlog, but fixing things that people have reported.
Right.
20% of the time will be on improving things. Like, for example, if we put in the new label printing stuff recently. That's an example of where I wasn't happy with the label printing that we had, and we decided to move the label printing to third-party libraries. It's new. It actually does more than what the old label printing does, and we're going to use it as a platform to do even more. So those are kinds of or HRD alerts, another example, right?
Yeah.
So it's a feature that we added in May, and it was probably part of the 20% of things that we did, while we were also doing the 80% of the work on fixing other things that people wanted fixed.
Okay, so with that kind of division of focus, and with so many folks now on the development team working for us, that must mean that you've got some exciting things in the pipeline heading into the holidays. Do you want to give us some teasers?
Yeah, so the main thing that we're working on right now is to speed up the application and get rid of the problems with access. So there's a body of work going on with that. We've got a few other things that we might try to get out there. So we've got some changes that we want to make to the Mapper program, where we can kind of start to add more rich content into the Mapper program. That's something that we'll work on. We've got a mock-up already of what I'm calling the HRD Programmer, which is a standalone application that you can use to program your HT or your radio if you want to program memories and things like that. And you can use it alongside Ham Radio Deluxe. We'll be working on a contest, or an actual full-blown contest capability before long as well. So there's several things that we have in the pipeline that we're going to try to spin up. I don't know which one we'll get in by Christmas.
Yeah. Well, tell me a little bit about the process then. Say that I haven't renewed in a couple of years, but you release something exciting that I'm super interested in. How do I get access to that?
Yeah, good point. So people occasionally get, confused by this, so it's a good thing to clarify.
Yeah.
So when you buy the software, you get a perpetual software license that you can use to run any version of Ham Radio Deluxe in perpetuity. We'd like for you to run the most recent one, because that's the best one that we can support people on.
Yeah.
But you get a perpetual software license you can run on any version of software. You also get a 12 months of what we call software maintenance and support, which gets you two things. direct access to our support team, and you get 12 months of whatever features that we release during that period of time. So if you bought today and it's the 22nd of August, you would be entitled to support through the 22nd of August in 2023, as well as any features that we release between now and 2023. And at that point, if it does everything you want it to do and you're not interested in the features release, then keep installing the latest updates, because that's how you get bug fixes and minor improvements. But it's incumbent upon us to try to introduce new features that you'll actually want to do the software maintenance and support.
Right, and so if I were new today, I would be entitled to any of the new features that you do work out for the next 12 months.
That's right.
So all of those awesome additions we were talking
That's
about.
right, as well as any
That's
that came
great.
before. So if there's been a lapse, let's say, between your software maintenance and support periods, then basically it'll catch you up through the end of that 12-month period.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I think this went well. What do you think?
I'd like to do it some more, because next time we have a shout out to Dan Murphy. Australians will know this one, but the camera is sitting on top of a Dan Murphy box.
Yeah, that's true, it is. Well, I'm thinking we could,
So we'll do something different
make
next time.
this apart. Maybe an Australian gin, or I've heard good things about Tasmanian whiskey.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll have to do that from Tassie.
Yeah, we could do that. That'd be fun.
Tassie, yeah.
But anyway, well, this was the new format we wanted to try out. If you have any questions you'd like to submit for our next episode, you can do that via social media, via comment. You can submit a sales ticket, and I'll jot down a note for you. And we'll try to cover as many of these topics as we can on a pretty regular basis, don't you think?
Yep.
Super.
And please, if you're one of our customers, if you bought from us at any time in the past, go to our website, www.hamradiodeluxe.com, download the latest version and install it. And we're happy to be able to provide these new releases to you, and so you're entitled to them.
Well, and hey, I hope you don't mind, I made a discount code. Because I figure if you made it to the end of this video, you should be rewarded. So if you decide to buy the software today or a renewal, you can do so using code HRDQNA1, and I'm going to put that in text right here between us. Okay.
All right.
So use that code. I'm going to leave it active, how long? A week? 2 weeks?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And how much are they getting to save on this one?
25% off.
We're giving it away.
I know, right? Hey, like I said, a reward. You made it to the end.
Yeah.
So, anything else?
Nope.
All
Thank you.
right.
Thank you, everyone.
Cheers. Thank you.